Table tennis is a board game played by two players or four players. When it is played by two opposing players, the game is called singles game. When it is played by four players, it is called doubles on a table. Table tennis used to be called wave-waf, is also known as ping pong and gossamer. The game starts with a service. History of table tennis. Table tennis is believed to have originated from England in the 19th century. Then it was played among the elites after dinner to refresh themselves or to relax. The world body that is responsible for table tennis activities all over the world is known as International Table Tennis Federation. This International Table Tennis Federation was established in the year 1926 in Berlin, that's Germany, and its headquarters is in England. Table tennis was introduced to Nigeria in 1930 by the British sailors, and the body responsible for table tennis in Nigeria is Nigerian Table Tennis Federation, formed in 1951 with Lagos as its headquarters.
What is table tennis? Table tennis, also known as ping pong and wiff-waff, is a sport in which two or four players hit a lightweight ball, also known as the ping pong ball, back and forth across the table using small rackets. The game takes place on a hard table divided by a net.
Table tennis is played on a table and it has a net, and net divides court into two parts. If we look at the table from side, this is how it looks like. The table is divided into two parts by the net. On the one side you are in the black uniform and you have your opponent in the blue side. Now the service in table tennis is very different. When you're serving, you toss the ball, you hit the ball by your racket, and it should bounce on your side of the table first, then go over the net, and it should bounce on your opponent's side. Very different from tennis. So ball should bounce on your side first and then on the opponent's side only during serve. After you have served, if your opponent is trying to hit the ball, he need to hit the ball onto your side. If opponent hits the ball on his side, then that is wrong. So opponent need to hit the ball on your side, and then you need to hit the ball on your opponent's side, and the game goes on like that. So you're wondering, how do you win points? Let's talk about that stuff. You can hit a very fast shot and your opponent is not able to make a contact, that is a winner. Another way to win a point is two bounces. So if your opponent hits the ball after the ball has made two bounces on the table, it's called double bounce and you win the point. Another way is if your opponent hits the ball and it doesn't bounce on the table, that would be an outside and you would win the point. Another case is opponent hits the ball into the net. In that case also you would win the point. So these are all the ways in which you can win the points in table tennis. One thing I would like to bring to your attention is when you are serving, if ball hits the net and go to the other side, it's called as let, and in that case you would reserve it. But if you're playing a point and this happened, that's fine, you just continue the game. Let's talk about scoring now, how scoring works. So here you are in the black uniform. Because you have the ball, you are serving, you have the arrow in front of you. So you toss the ball, you serve, your opponent hits it, and you hit a winner shot. So you won the point, so you get the first point. Now in the next point also you would serve. So you serve for 2 points and then you change the serve. So this is second point. You serve, your opponent hit the outside shot. So you win this point as well. You got 2 points because you served 2 times. Now serve would change. It would go to the blue player and arrow would go to his name and you would give ball to him. Now let's assume that the player in the blue played a good point. He won the first point and then he played another good point. He won the second point. Now he has served for 2 points. So serve will change now. So how can you figure out when to change the serve? Whenever the sum of points is even, then you change the serve, whether it's 4, 6, 8, 10. You add your points. If it's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, you change the serve. Serve would come back to you and the ball would also come back to you and you would serve and you would continue. So till what point of time you continue? You continue until you get 11 points. Once you get 11 points, then you have won that game. So game comes into the picture. So if you look at the points, you won 11 points. That means you won the game. So you won one game and the point becomes 0-0 and next game would start. Now for the next game, what would happen is the serve would change, because in the previous game you started the serve. So in the next game, opponent would start the serve. Not only that, you also change the sides as well. So you would go to the other side of table and that person would come to your side of the table. So when does game ends? Game ends when you win 3 games. So you win 11 points to win 1 game, and if you win 3 games, then you win the whole match and you are a winner. You are the winner. Now I want to bring your attention to some situation. Let's say you have 11 points, your opponent is 9 points. So because A has 11 points and difference is 2, A won it. If A has 11 and B has 8, difference is 3, you won it. As far as A wins 11 points with the difference of 2, A wins the game. But if it's 10-10 and now A gets 11, the difference is 1. In this case, A doesn't win this game. He needs to get difference of 2, so he needs to win 1 more point. If A gets 12 and 10, difference is 2, now A wins. Let's talk about the real game. You are in orange uniform and score is 0-0. You are serving. So when you serve, you need to hit the ball on your side and then opponent side. So focus there. You are tossing the ball here and toss and you hit on your side, then goes to the opponent side. Now you play normally, you hit a great shot, you won the first point. It's 1-0. Again, serve will be your, because you serve for 2 points. You did a good serve. You hit a top spin shot. This is called backhand. Whenever ball comes to your left side, it's backhand. Come to right side, it's called as a forehand. And you hit a great forehand. So you got 2 points. Now service will go to your opponent. Your opponent serve and you hit a backspin shot. Another backspin shot. You can call it as a forehand backspin because it's on your right side. Now this one is backhand spin. And you won the point. Again, you won 3 points in a row. You are doing great job. Your opponent serve. You hit a top spin shot. You hit a top spin shot. You hit a top spin shot. And then you hit a backhand top spin. And then another backhand top spin. Then another backhand top spin. Forehand top spin. Then you hit a forehand top spin. Then you hit a backhand top spin. Another forehand top spin. And then backhand top spin. And you hit a backspin shot and you won the point. You won 4 points, now your serve. What is different in doubles compared to singles? Obviously, 2 versus 2 is doubles. And the difference from singles is when you're playing singles, when you serve, your first bounce can be anywhere on your side of the table, which is green. And then second bounce can be anywhere on your opponent's side of the table, which is orange here. But in doubles, that is not the case. In doubles, ball should bounce on the right side of your table and then it should land on the left side of your opponent's table, and X would be receiving this serve. So you hit the first bounce on your table on the right side, second bounce on your opponent's table on the left side. Now once ball goes to your opponent can hit anywhere on your side. Now he doesn't need to care right or left, anywhere on your table is fine. But in table tennis, players plays alternative. So because you did the serve, player 2 would be receiving the shot. Player 1 cannot play this shot. So player 2 can only play the shot. Player X hit the shot and player 2 is ready to return that shot. Now because X played that shot, Y has to play this shot. X cannot play this shot again. That's how rules in table tennis doubles is. Players play alternate. So if you hit the shot, then your partner needs to hit the next shot and then you would hit the next shot. It's alternate. So because your partner 2 knows X cannot hit it, so he's gonna aim for somewhere over there and Y needs to play that shot. So let's see what happens here. So Y is able to reach to the ball. Now, because 2 play the shot, 2 cannot play the next shot and Y knows it, that 1 needs to play the shot. So Y is gonna aim for somewhere here. So that's the kind of beauty of doubles table tennis is. It's alternate. So you play a shot, then your partner play, then you play, your partner play. So it gets very, very interesting. Now let's learn about how serve changes in doubles. So if you are player one and you are serving, so you serve for 2 points. After 2 points, you give ball to your opponent, player X. And now what would happen is player two would come to receive the serve and you would go on the other side of the table. So player X is serving to player 2 now. Player X would serve for 2 points, and after that player X would give ball to player 2 and player Y would come to receive the serve and player X would go into the another direction. Now player 2 would serve for 2 points, and after that he would give ball to the Y. Player 1 would come to receive and player 2 would go to the other side. That's how the serve rotates in table tennis, and players play alternate shots. So that's so much fun in doubles.
Some of the rules and regulations in table tennis are: the ball should be put into play by service, and in service the palm must be open for the opponent to see the ball before you serve. The receiver must be ready to receive the ball before the server must serve. If not, late is called. During play, the ball must bounce once. Not during service now, mark it. During play, it must bounce once in your own part or the opponent's part before it is returned. If a served ball touches the net and drops on the receiver's side, late is called. But if it drops on the server's side, a point is made by the receiver. All service must be taken from the end line, that is from the end line of the table. The table should not be touched during play, either by the player's body or the bat. If that is done, you tend to lose a point. Now, if you must serve, ensure that the receiver is ready before you serve. If a serve ball touches the net and drops on the server's side, a point is made. Now, each player is given opportunity to serve twice before service is changed. A game in table tennis is made of 11 points, and to win a game, you must win your opponent with more than at least 2 points. Officials in the game of table tennis. There are four main officials. We have 1. The referee, 2. The umpire, 3. The assistant umpire, and 4. The stroke counter. The referee takes charge of all other officials and takes the final decision during the game. The umpire stands in line with the net and ensures that the rules of the games are adhered to, announcing point by point the scores of each player. He starts the game by tossing a coin to determine who starts service or who starts which part of the court a player chooses. The assistant umpire informs the main umpire, of irregularities during the game.